What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Movie Talks, the only podcast you need for all your movie news, movie reviews, and more. Episode 55. We are no longer strays. We are finding our way home. Not bad, not bad, not bad.
No.
It's a little bit. It's not bad for a see how I can go. I was trying to mash two things in my head at the same time, and that's what it came out with.
Sure.
Well, you're not
Felt that
invited
way.
to. Yeah, you're not invited to my bar mitzvah. So, yeah, take that. Take that.
Sure thing, man.
Yeah, well, once upon a crime, you used to laugh at my jokes. That's not bad. That's all three.
Oh my
That's
God.
all three. All three in the intro. Boom.
Yep,
We're
it
getting
sure
better.
was.
We're getting better. We're getting better.
You said the names of the movies.
It's a new thing. Yeah, get ready.
Golly.
Get hyped. Oh,
God.
one day you
What's
enjoy.
happened this morning?
One day you enjoy my humor. You
I
know.
mean, we've been friends, what, 10 years? And I
Yep.
haven't yet, so.
Oh, well, you've hung around this long, so I feel like you
Yeah.
secretly like it. Secretly,
It's
I don't
part
know.
of the Reimanntv charm. We're okay with it.
That's right. I'm just a really big, I would say Labrador or Golden Retriever if I was going to be a dog. I'd really like to
Yeah.
be a German Shepherd, but I'm just not like, I don't know.
Nah, you're not scary enough.
No. But oh well, it's fun. Fun times. Fun times.
Fun times.
Oh, I've been waiting for this movie news because I actually don't know what's out. But anyway, let's get into movie news. Movie news. There's lots of things happening. There's lots of moving and shaking. Donald Glover, you're man of the hour.
Love him. I love him.
He's a good man. Donald
Absolutely.
Glover's Lando Star Wars series will now be a movie.
I didn't realize they were doing a Lando series.
Neither did I. That was the first thing I read. So happy days. That is kind of cool. I like Donald Glover.
People have been raving about Ahsoka. I've watched nothing. I'm kind of over Star Wars. It feels like Marvel now.
I've seen the first three of Ahsoka. It's actually really good. And
Okay.
thoroughly enjoying it.
Maybe I'm gonna be more a bit more kind to it and just watch it.
Well, I did see, I think it's episode 5. They are saying it is the best Star Wars moment. And I'm like, that's a
It's
big
with Annie.
Oh my God, he's just ruined it for everybody.
Well, everyone's talking about it. Like it's not a secret.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have a little bit of mystery. Otherwise, people are like, oh, you might as well just tell me about everything.
But there's been no mystery because everyone's talking about it. That's the problem.
Well, best Star Wars moment. It's a big call. Big call.
What it could be. That's a huge call.
So I look forward to hearing your take on it.
Yeah, watching eventually.
Yeah.
I've watched Zero One Piece since last week as well, so
Oh, really?
I'm not confident.
I've finished it. It's so good. They actually did the Arlong arc quite well. I was very impressed with the moment, so I'm excited to hear your take on it. But another franchise that you're really invested in is Aquaman 2. Have you heard the news about Aquaman 2?
I heard no news, but I saw a trailer for it yesterday. My first thought was, fuck's sake, Rhymes are gonna make me watch this.
I actually hated Aquaman 1.
Oh, really? I'm surprised.
I hate Aquaman. He's not a good hero. I don't know who invented Aquaman was like, okay, this is going to be cool. We can talk to animals, we'll see creatures and control the water. The only thing that is good about Aquaman is that Jason Momoa is actually a pretty good Aquaman. Like,
sure.
Even though that they went away from its original, like, I guess, what's that called? Canon or image. Like, I'm impressed with him as Aquaman. It's just, I hate Aquaman. He sucks. So
I don't know. I've heard there's a guy called Cosmonaut on YouTube, YouTube like video movie reviewer, whatever. He actually says Aquaman's pretty good because it's just dumb fun. They don't take it too seriously and all that, but you don't think so?
No, I hate it. Fish people. But
I've seen nothing, so I have nothing to say.
Apparently, number 2, the you know how to do a pre-screening to gauge like how it's going and stuff. Apparently, it was so bad they've had to reshoot quite a number of scenes.
Awesome.
Sick.
Well, Are we going to be watching it?
I don't know. Don't know.
Just so I can prepare myself.
No, I don't want you to be prepared. I want you to go in real angry.
Well, I'm always going to go into a superhero movie pretty angry.
So,
but
well, talking about another superhero or a man that has been a superhero, Benedict Cumberbatch is a gambler with a plan in a new trailer for Wes Anderson's The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
Cool.
It's a cool mashup. I like Wes Anderson besides his Asteroid City that had no plan or whatever.
Yeah, it definitely had a plan. It didn't have.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Had no plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. I didn't realize that Wes Anderson already started his next project. That's awesome.
Yeah. With
Henry Sugar.
Henry Sugar.
It's only a 40-minute short.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's got Ralph Fiennes, Rupert Friend, Richard Ayoade from IT Crowd, Dev Patel. That's a pretty decent Miss Wes Anderson. It's always going to be decent. Yeah, it's a short, 40 minutes. It's not a full-length film.
Okay, interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll watch it. It's a Roald Dahl story.
Oh, really?
There
you go. Didn't know that. Oh,
cool.
Yeah.
I don't think about it. There you go. It's the first news I've heard, and I'm already somewhat excited. More excited than Aquaman too.
Well, the next one, I'm going to butcher the name. The Hayao Miyazaki, The Boy and the Heron, finds a UK distributor. This is the new Studio Ghibli film. I'm very, very keen for it. It looks sick. It looks like a mashup of every Studio Ghibli all coming together. A big universe. Have you seen the trailer for it yet?
I have not. I mean, you mentioned it last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I forgot to watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Watch the trailer right now while we're talking.
Okay. And then there is Leonardo DiCaprio is seeking vengeance. So it looks like he's back out and about in a new Killer of the Flower Moon trailer. Brand new one out. Leonardo is coming back to the screen.
What do you keep saying? Leonardo.
Big old Leno.
Not Leonardo.
No, he's Leonardo. We're on first nickname basis, me and him.
What's it called?
Which one?
The thing you're talking about. Leonardo's what?
The Flower Moon trailer. The new Killers of the Flower Moon.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah.
Yep. Looks
he's the producer of that as well.
Yeah, well, he's in it too. So
okay. Is it already out?
No, it's a new trailer. So
you're right.
Yeah, cool.
Directed Martin Scorsese film. Oh, amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. I have heard about this. I realized that's what it's called.
It's gonna be good. All right.
Yeah, I'm super keen. Scorsese, anything Scorsese makes, I'm gonna be watching.
Yeah.
I think at this point I've pretty much watched his entire catalog.
There is a new Dr. Jekyll in New Hammer film, which is Eddie Izzard. So it'll be interesting. I feel like Dr. Jekyll doesn't quite have the same impact as it used to. Like, it was pretty cool when you first learn about it, but I just don't know. And
Eddie Izzard is the main character?
Is Dr. Jekyll, yeah.
You're right. Interesting. I don't think I've seen Eddie Izzard in anything for a long time.
No.
I don't know him from like his stage shows.
Yeah. So could be interesting.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Another one that we mentioned last week is El Ross American Holiday Horror, which is the Thanksgiving one, is coming out pretty soon. Keeps getting a lot of teasers and trailers. It looks average. I'm not gonna lie.
I find it really hard to understand, like to connect with anything that's like too American, I suppose. Yeah. Like Thanksgiving and that. I'm like, I get it, but I can't connect with the content.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a timed release to try and get something for the holiday period. So
always.
And the last one is How to Have Sex Teaser takes 3 British teens on an unforgettable girls' holiday. So it's apparently a new film. It looks like another teenage.
How to Have Sex.
Yep. That's the one. Yeah.
Sounds super good.
It's going to get the teenagers involved because, that's it.
Because they want to know how to have sex.
Yeah. Yep.
Sure thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, who knows? Who knows? Let's move on. That is all the movie news for now. Until
Yeah.
next week.
Some things I'm excited for, some things I'm not, as usual.
As usual. You know.
When does that Scorsese film come out?
I don't know. I haven't looked that up. Could be whenever. Could be.
I want it to be soon. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Ooh. Yeah, get around it.
October.
Okay, it's a while
20th
away.
October. America. It's not too bad. That's like a new month.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Super keen.
Super keen. Well, let's get into Strays. So this is the newest one out by Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx of the stars.
Sure
and
is.
It is directed by Josh Greenburn, and it is not what I was expecting. I was expecting this to be like what was that other dog film where they dubbed it over? Dogs versus Cats, or Cats versus Dogs, or whatever it was.
It's called Cats and Dogs, yeah.
Cats and Dogs, yeah. That's what I was expecting. And
kids show.
Yeah, like I was expecting it to be a family movie. Like I'd read nothing about it. I just saw the two little dogs at the start. And then as soon as I got into it, I was like, whoa, this is not what I was expecting.
Well, good thing you didn't try watching it with the kids.
Yeah, so it was a good call. But this is
say MA.
American our MA, which is but I went in with nothing. I like to know nothing about films a lot of the time.
Right, not even the classification.
Nah, I just go into it. And then this is about an abandoned dog team. An abandoned dog teams up with other strays to get revenge on his former owner. So Will Ferrell is our main lead, who gets abandoned by his owner, and then he meets Jamie Foxx, who is Bug, the other little dog, and it's all about a revenge quest and getting the revenge that he wants from his owner, with a number of events that happen in between. And it's a pretty predictable story. Like there's nothing really, I guess, exciting about the story. Like there's no like grand plot. There's no really new take with it. Where this does kind of have a really good ride is in the, I guess, the vulgar comedy. If that's, would you call it vulgar comedy, or would you call it like, it's not really gross out comedy. It's more like shock factor.
It kind of is. It's a bit of that gross out, a bit of that vulgar, like toilet humor. Like they're making jokes about, farting and shitting, and little jokes about like humping stuff, which gets unfunny. One of my notes I wrote was this humor is only boring when I predict every joke. Like, because it's trying to be shock humor and it's trying to like subvert expectations of what a talking dog movie is. It relies a lot on, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Oh my God, that's not what I was expecting. But once you do start to expect every little beat, it stops being funny. Like there's none of that factor isn't there anymore.
Yeah. So I reckon the first 20 minutes it had that shock factor for me, because I went in not knowing anything about it, and seeing the first interactions with Pug. I found Pug entertaining to begin with. Or Bug. Yeah. Like I found him entertaining to begin with, and the different interactions with Reggie and Bug were kind of funny at the start. But then once it became very, here's the situation. Bug is going to say something outlandish. Reggie's going to be like the standard sort of, I don't know, deer in the headlights.
Fish out of water, and that whole thing.
Like it fell into that kind of trap. Once you get the two other characters, the bigger dog and the border collie, which was that Maggie and Hunter? Yeah. Like they freshened it up for a little bit, but then again it fell into that repetitive trap. Like there was a scene,
same jokes all the way through. Sorry.
a scene where they were trapped, they got caught as you'd expect.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, okay, yep, there's going to be some type of shock humor here. And again, it happened. Like it was, I reckon, if I wasn't as old and as experienced as I am in these type of films, I reckon it would be fun for like your teenager days where you come in and it's like, ha, toilet humor.
Yeah. Yeah. I wrote that like this is very American humor. Like it's not made for our audiences, I don't think, in a way. Like my dad would love this. I think if you're a teenager or if you're a boomer, this would have been funny. Everything in between, us, this is dumb. There's not enough to keep me going, oh yeah, I want to watch more of this.
Like some of it I giggled at, some of it I smirked, and others I was like, all right, let's move on from this gag.
Yeah. I would have smiled here and there. I'm not sure I actually like out loud laughed at all during the whole thing.
When they were trying to get the keys, when they were trying to reach the keys, I knew it was coming, but I still laughed at it.
Oh, with the lipstick dog boner.
Yeah, with Hunter. Like I laughed at that. I knew it was coming.
I laughed more at like after when they kept referencing it. I found that funnier than the actual scene.
Yeah, fair.
I don't
know. It was just, I don't know. That was probably my favorite scene, and the rest of it was like, ah. And the ending, I didn't like the ending where he actually, I don't even care if I spoil it, where he actually gets revenge. I was like, oh,
his dick. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I feel like this could have been done in a more comical way. I just feel like it had such a build up and it didn't like give that payoff that I wanted.
It's to the point where I'm surprised that Kevin James wasn't someone in the movie. Like
no, this is out of Kevin James' range though. This is too out there.
Too rude.
Yeah.
He's too much of a family. Yeah, I can see that. I'm surprised, like, you know, the scene you mentioned before when they're in there, they get more or less put in like a pound. And in the pound, they realize that humans always bag up their poo. So if they all poo, there's this whole montage scene of them taking a shit, and it's really dumb. They all poo, then what do you call them? What are they called? The pound keeper? I don't know.
Yeah, the instructor or whatever. Not the instructor, the person that looks after all the dogs.
Yeah, I don't know what the word would be. The pound warden I want to go with. He comes in and like cleans everything up, and then like he slips over and falls in the poo. That to me was a very like Kevin James moment. I'm surprised he didn't play that role, you know.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Silly man fall in poo. I was very unimpressed. Like I didn't expect it to be good. I sort of wanted to watch it because I thought it was going to be bad, and it was just pretty much boring.
Yeah,
most of it was just boring. Jamie Foxx is embarrassing with the wrong director. He is not a voice actor. Him as Bug the whole way through, it just felt like Jamie Foxx reading lines. Like it didn't. You can tell that for a lot of it, they didn't have the four actors in a room together doing the voices and playing off of each other. You can tell it was just people reading through lines and then they put it together in editing. There's no chemistry at all between the characters. It felt really stagnant. And dogs talking still looks like shit. It's 2023 and dogs talking still looks horrible. It still looks very fake.
Yeah, I don't know. Because when you go, if it wasn't close-ups of all the dogs moving their mouths, I reckon it would have been better. But
yeah,
if you're basing it around obviously dogs talking, then you're going to have to have the close-ups, don't you?
You do. And like I think they probably thought it looked better than it did, but it still looks so like uncanny valley sort of stuff, like really shit.
Yeah. So really, the target audience wasn't us. It was teenagers. No. Teenagers would have fun with the crude humor. And you reckon? Do you reckon boomers would? Like, I don't reckon my old man. I don't reckon he would get around this one.
My dad would love this. I think some. My dad, my uncle, I know would watch this and find it so funny and talk about the different scenes and I know my dad I don't know who would like this. Maybe not all
Okay.
boomers, because some boomers would be like, "Oh, this is inappropriate," but like for those boomers who like fart jokes and shit jokes, and
Yeah, my old man
it's not the
wouldn't.
rally.
I don't know. He'd watch it and he'd probably giggle, but they'd be like, "All right, time to watch the footy."
Time to
that's
watch the footy.
that's where it would be at.
It's also very obvious through this that a lot of the jokes and a lot of the dog actions were based on what they knew the dogs could do, what tricks they knew the dogs could do. Like it was very obvious when they were writing certain scenes that okay, we know the dog can like on command can raise its paw up. So we'll write a joke in about, oh, my paws are killing me. So then he can like raise his paws and show his paws to the camera. Like there was a lot of jokes where you could tell they wrote the joke based on what I guess tricks the dogs could do.
Yep. Yeah.
As when you start looking at this with that sort of lens, it just becomes such a nothing movie, like
Yes.
really, really obvious and shitty.
Yeah. But it was. I don't know. I can't even say it was better than I was expecting because I wasn't really expecting anything. It was mainly just the shock factor coming into it, where I was like, "Wow, all right, it's a crude humor about dogs." So
I suppose coming in not knowing that it's going to be for adults, yeah, like it's pretty much what I expected. It's unfunny. It's very American.
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes too long. Like after the hour, I was like, all right, let's wrap this up. Like there was just an extended scene where I was like, oh, we could have done without it.
Yeah, at least it was an hour and a half. That's something.
Yeah, at least 20 minutes dragged. 20 minutes dragged quite.
Yeah, but you can't release a movie that's less than an hour and a half long.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I mean, Wes Anderson's doing 40 minutes, but it's Wes Anderson. Yeah.
But it's not being released to cinemas or anything.
No. What would you give it then?
Just reading through my notes. Is there anything else I want to say? Okay, so the only thing I will give it is I love Will Forte. He's the guy who played I forget his name, but the owner, the guy who got his dick bit, Doug. I love him as an actor. I think he's fantastic and he's really fucking funny in this. It's funny in everything he does. Randall Park, actually, the guy who played Hunter, this is the best role I've seen him in because he was meant to play a boring vanilla nothingness of a character, and he is such a boring vanilla nothingness of an actor. The only good voice acting the entire way through was, do you remember in The Pound there was that old wise dog with the underbite?
Yeah.
And he was like, old, yeah. That was the best voice acting because that guy is a fucking voice actor. Everybody else is an actor who they just shoved in a room. It was like, hey, can you do some voice acting? That was David Herman, and David Herman has done many, many things all across like Cartoon Network, Futurama. He's like Scruffy in Futurama as well as other characters. Disenchantment. He's like Bob's Burgers. Heaps of shit. He's a voice actor. Everybody else had no idea what they was doing, and it was fucking clear and really, really dumb. And it made me. There's a moment where I actually felt a little bit of emotion because they made me think about the fact that my dogs understand me when I say I love them. I was like, oh, I want my dogs to believe me when I say I love them. I want them to understand me. So that's the only thing I'll give it credit for. One good voice actor, and one scene where they feel emotions about my dogs. But besides that, piece of shit.
Well, just a little bit of trivia that I found. 95% of the film they use real dogs for, and the puppy playing young Reggie was adopted by the director.
Cute. Sure.
So, cool.
Yeah, like that.
It's kind of cool.
Where do I stand on this?
Doesn't save the film, but it's kind of cool.
No, God, no. It's a cute little tidbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this just again, people need to stop hiring actors just because they sell tickets. Like this could have been a lot better with actual voice actors and an actual story rather than like this could have been like this could have been a regular show episode, 20 minutes long, about a guy wanting to get back and like hurt his owner. Like it could have been such a simple, nothing short little episode of a TV show. They turned it into a feature-length film and it became very tired by the end.
Yeah. Even if Netflix picked it up and was like, Here's 5-episode season, 20 minutes apiece, kind of like the shorter run of Man vs. Bee or something. It was like you could watch an episode, go do something with your day, come back, watch another, I don't know, event happen and have the same jokes. Like, then it wouldn't be as tired where you're just watching it for the entire hour and a half.
Very true. Very, very true, actually. Because it's just like, I was so bored by the end.
Right.
Like a 1. I think a half is too rough. There's worse movies than this out there. Like a 1 and a bit, 1.25, I suppose.
Yep.
It's boring, but it's not egregiously bad. It's fine that it exists. I'm not mad at it, but it's also I'm gonna forget I even watched it in a few weeks.
Yeah, well, I actually forgot because we did the podcast on a Friday rather than a Sunday, and I forgot about this film. Like, I watched this and the Mitzvah one, pretty much not back to back, but like one on Saturday, one on Sunday. And when we were getting ready today, I was like, oh, we watched Strays. I've forgotten about this film. Like, it is a nothing film. So originally I thought like two, it wasn't that bad of a film, but then it was like, now remembering it was like 20 minutes. It just dragged. So I'm taking half a star off. So it's 1.5.
Sure.
Like, it's, some of the humor's good. I think if you're the target audience, if you're in your teens or you're into that really crude shock humor, then you're going to have a good time. It's just, I think I'm past this one. I think it's just not well written for the setups of the jokes. Like, it needs a little bit more with its setup. So
it's not a movie I'll watch again, but it's not a movie that I hated. I'll put it that way. It's just boring.
That's probably a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's go to the newest Netflix edition, and this one was your pick, and I am curious to see your take on this, because I feel like we're gonna have a different take on this one.
Oh, you reckon?
I reckon. Did you watch it in subbed or dubbed?
You know what? Interestingly enough, because I experimented with both. I watched the, really early, there's a scene where our character interacts with this witch character really early in the film. And I watched that in, go on.
Best part of the film.
I actually don't disagree. She was hilarious.
Yeah.
I watched that in dub.
No,
so I watched it sub first. I was like, I'll watch that again in dub and see what I think. And it was actually funnier in dub because this felt like a cartoon.
It was so much funnier in dubbed.
I agree. Because once my mindset was sort of changed a little bit to take this far less seriously, my mind became sort of down the same avenue as like an anime, I suppose. It sort of felt like a live action anime. Once my mind shifted that way and sort of took this very like grain of salt, tongue in cheekness, I was like, okay, this is better. And I watched it in, it's very rare for me. I wrote in my notes that it's a very rare W for the dub. But yeah, I watched this in the dub and I found it way funnier.
Yeah.
Very self-aware.
So this film is Once Upon a Crime. We probably should have done this first, but whatever. Once Upon a Crime is the newest Netflix edition. So this is just being released. While at the royal ball with Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood finds herself in the middle of a mystery. Can she solve the case before midnight strikes? Bum, bum, bum. Yep. So this is coming out of Japan, and it is a mashup of all of the fairy tales all into one.
It's 2 fairy tales.
That's 2. There was bits and pieces in there.
Was there? I might have missed it.
Yeah. It was mainly Cinderella and Red Riding Hood, but I thought it was
from my knowledge.
Yeah, a bit of foreshadowing for like a sequel. So I hope not.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, well, at the end, off she goes for more adventures. She's
more adventures, yeah.
Yeah, that's the sequel. Like, if this did well, I'm sure they were like, let's smash up more with Little Red.
There's opportunity. Yeah, I'm not sure they're actually setting up a sequel, but there's definitely open ending.
Well, that's why
to
they
allow
left
room
it
for a
open.
sequel. Yeah. But some movies they'll show a little tidbit at the end and be like, "Oh, this is the next movie." This didn't do that, did it?
No, but it definitely left it open for her to go walking into the wilderness for a second movie.
Anywho,
I just want to hear your take on this one. I'm so curious to see.
Go on, keep going.
Well, so Little Red Riding
So
Hood.
this movie follows. Go on.
Little Red Riding Hood is turned into Sherlock Holmes rather than your I don't know, your standard Little Red Riding Hood. Off she goes, and the only big standout that she is Little Red Riding Hood is that she wears a red hood, and she's little. So that was pretty much nothing that is the same with her character. She's Sherlock Holmes with a red hood.
Yeah, pretty much. There was that old cartoon, Hoodwinked. You've watched that? It was in high school when it was our high school-ish that came out.
Was it Hoodwinked?
Hoodwinked, it was called. It was similar. 2005 it came out.
Was that a movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hated it.
Hour 20. You hated it? Oh, yeah. Hoodwinked 1 is funny as.
No.
Got some really good actors in it. Anyway, Hoodwinked was pretty much this. It was like a crime sort of thing that happened, and Red Riding Hood was going to try and solve it. And the wolf, and that's the whole thing. It's a crime, they're solving it, and sort of fairy tale. It's this, but less Japanese. And Sherlock. Once that Sherlock scene happened, That's So Raven stare.
Yeah, it's got that. Hoodwinked is that weird as art style where it's like the budget.
Yeah, it looks bad these days. Yeah,
the budget art style of the time, which then any bootleg copy of a knockoff film looks like this animation.
It really does.
Yeah,
shocking for sure.
So
go on.
Little Red Riding Hood is with her little basket, is off into the woods where she meets Cinderella and the fairy godmothers, because there's more than one apparently in this.
Yeah,
is it a witch? She meets a witch, or
she's a witch.
I was confused.
I think only fairy godmothers in this one. I think they're just different kinds of witches.
I thought the nephew or the niece, was
the white one.
Yeah, just appeared out of nowhere. So
I don't know what she was in the end. She was a niece. I think she was a witch as well, because Red Riding Hood goes, "What's all the witches today?"
Yeah, got you. So Little Red Riding Hood meets Cinderella. They do the things about the boots. There's a gag with the boots that are floating down the river, and she can't do shoes. Like this introduction is actually really, really fun. It reminded me of Power Rangers, how badly it's acted. The witch reminded me of what's Rita? Revolting Rita, or I can't remember what her name is in Power Rangers, but
I know who you mean though. Yeah, very much so. The original actor especially.
Yeah, it reminded me of that real over the top, cheesy, just sort of fun. The gags were fun. They were overacting. And then they're obviously Cinderella and Little Red Riding Hood get all dressed up because they have to go to the ball. We see the three blind mice that gets turned into a carriage. I quite liked the mouse that gets turned into the coach driver. He was reasonably fun for the most part. And then there's a crime. Someone gets thrown out and hits the carriage, and then it all unfolds. And that's where it lost me completely.
I don't disagree. First act, everything up until getting to the ball, so fun, so tongue-in-cheek comedy, so self-aware. There's a line that I laughed at that was don't worry, everything will go smoothly thanks to the power of magic. They just point out all these little dumb flaws in fairy tale writing.
Yeah,
I found it so fun. And like you said, as soon as he gets to the ball, as soon as it becomes an episode of Sherlock but less interesting, it lost me. I was so disappointed from then on, because I'm I was having such a fun ride with this. The start of it really set me up. And as I said, I switched on my brain of this is just dumb fun. And then once it tried taking itself really seriously, by then I'd already painted a picture in my head of this not being a serious film. And it sort of had a tone shift, and I wasn't ready for it, and I enjoyed it way less.
Right? Like it could have been really fun. And it was for the first act. And then it literally ran the exact same format as like a Sherlock. It was like, here's the situation, here's the little like flashback, I'll explain what's happening. Like it literally ran that formula. The only like kind of interesting part in Act 2's and Act 3 was the actual like hairdressing bloke. Like I was like, why is this bloke so obsessed with like cutting people's hair? And it was like that,
and that was like very fairy tale.
Yeah, like that was a very unique, I guess, take on it. And I was like, okay, cool. That's weird.
And it was chaotic enough that it suited. Like it was bizarre, and it was like, okay, I'm glad, because that's what fairy tales are. But then when you're trying to do a murder mystery, like a semi-serious one, you're trying to get us to take it seriously. When you try and do that within a world that you've already set up, nothing matters. Magic changes the rules of everything. They're constantly saying you're unattractive, so you need to leave. Like literally, their hierarchy is based on their attractiveness. You're setting up all these really silly rules in this fantasy world, and then you're trying to get us to take a murder mystery very seriously. Especially when once the murder mystery kicks off, there is just scene after scene after scene of characters talking.
Yeah, and then
like discussing it.
Why's everyone got glass slippers? Like it didn't make sense to me why everyone has glass slippers. And because glass slippers obviously became a really big thing, and that's how they solved the crime and worked out how the crime happened. But it was like, everyone's got glass slippers. Did everyone get magically dressed up by
Red Riding Hood says when she notices someone else's glass slipper, she's like, oh, that witch has been busy, she says. Like that's it. Like I don't know. It felt like they're trying to reincorporate something, but then they didn't. But then at the end, when they reveal the twist, I thought the twist was going to be that it wasn't her because somebody else was wearing slippers, but then it turned out that it was. You want to get to that?
Yeah, we should probably get to that. The ending could have been kind of cool, but unfortunately it wasn't. It was just
no.
So
I didn't expect it.
You didn't?
No, I'll give you that much. I didn't expect, for spoilers, those who give a shit, but don't, because if you're gonna watch this, watch the first like 20 minutes. I didn't expect Cinderella to be the murderer.
I did. Like they were leading up to it for ages.
All right.
It was ages. I didn't expect how they revealed it, like with the dead pigeon and the hiding of the
slipper.
Yeah, but they just made two as soon as like the slipper came out, and then they were like, seize her. And then they tried to do the double take, but they're like, ha, see, couldn't have been me. I had a different pair of shoes. And they're like, no, but they made two pairs of shoes for you. I was like, oh my God. Why?
I agree.
Why have you done this? What is happening? And then even the logic of like how the shoe broke, they're like, you didn't knock her out enough. So then she woke up, and then you had to hit her again with your glass slipper. Why would you hit anyone with a glass slipper? What in your right mind goes, glass is a great thing to knock someone out with?
Especially in a room full of utensils and tools, and there's like a shovel in the corner. Like there's a lot of things she could use instead of a glass slipper. I know a lot of it was written for convenience, and like that's sort of the problem with this. Is I'm okay with dumb conveniences. Like that was the beginning. They were pointing them out. It was all like when they were pointing out, everything we find with magic. That's fine. You're in a fairy tale world. Point out all the little silly things, but then don't try and make us take it seriously, because we just can't at that point.
But yeah, it was weird. They went to a fun, self-aware filmed at the start, and then they're like,
Yeah.
let's go into the murder mystery serious side. It was just
Yeah.
so jarring that you're like, I don't care about this anymore.
Mm-hmm. It
Like,
was still the best thing I watched this week.
I'm
That's like
confused.
probably,
I'm confused how they were like, beauty is your social standing, and like they were talking about how you got to wear like great clothes, you can't have like scratches on your face, you got to have your hair like perfect.
yeah.
Yet the king sort of contradicted every.
Did he?
Yeah, like they were
I think
talking
he
about.
was unattractive.
No, but like if you're the king and your beauty standard, like shouldn't you be like,
Maybe that was the joke, is that once you're king, that doesn't matter anymore.
right? Maybe.
Because you're right, he wasn't the most beautiful in the land,
Yeah, like
the most attractive man in the realms. Yeah,
I was
Prince
confused
was.
about that. Yeah.
Prince Gilbert. What a fucking name for a prince, by the way.
Like not many people can pull off the white pants, and they're like, but the prince
Yeah,
can.
most people look like a lion tamer. I'm like, he does look like a lion tamer.
Right.
I
So
actually really enjoyed a lot of the acting in this was very fun. Like as much as Little Red Riding Hood tried to become Sherlock, she was still like the moment where, for example, when the prince like walked through the crowd and asked Cinderella's hand, and she's in the corner, she's like, "Oh, you go, girl!" Like little moments like that, I thought were really fun and really cute. Like I liked. I think she was a really. I think if I say the word cute, she was a cute actor. I'm not talking about her appearance. I'm talking about her actions. Like she felt like an anime character in
yeah.
that way. A lot of it was really good, and then a lot of it was just like I fell asleep a little in the middle of the day on a Saturday because I'm like nothing's happening. I'm just sitting at my desk, and nothing was really progressing. Like it was too long. The middle got tired, and the end just sort of wrapped up really quickly.
Yep. With a
Yeah,
attempt at a twist ending that wasn't a twist ending, and then they tried to
yeah,
do a twist ending. Like they tried really hard to make this like a shock twist, where it didn't.
yes,
It just wasn't. I
yeah.
also,
As much as I didn't expect it to happen, it wasn't like a shocking twist. It was like, oh, okay, that's the direction they're going now. Cool.
yeah. Did you
Mhm.
guess who the hooded figure was? When they were like, there was a hooded figure that was always following the
Oh
prince.
yeah, and it was the prince's original girl or whatever. I forget
Yeah,
her fucking name now, but
yeah,
yeah, a little bit because especially when they kept talking about her at the beginning and how much she was a servant girl who left and da 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 da, and then
yeah.
yeah, it became like, oh yeah, of course, gonna be her.
I laughed at all the scratches, like the makeups of the scratches. They were literally just a pointed line with a
Yeah,
straight dash.
might as well be in a red pen. Yeah,
Yeah, hilarious. It's disappointing. Like this could have been a really fun, like just spin on things, but they
yeah.
messed it up pretty
The
quickly.
first half an hour made me way more excited for the rest of it
Yeah,
than I think I was supposed to be.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a few
Disappointing.
moments here and there that were fun, especially the first little bit. But then it becomes like I could not believe how it they have to have based her look off of That So Raven. It looked exactly like That So Raven. She's staring at the camera. She has that like look on her face. The camera zooms in on her eye. Her eye pieces together a bunch of things, and then it zooms out like Sherlock. But it looked
Yeah.
exactly like That's So Raven.
I
Like it
never
had to have
watched that.
been a homage.
I think I saw bits and pieces of That So Raven, but I
I
never
used to watch it a
actually.
bit.
Yeah, right. I think I was
Yeah,
like even Stevens, which was before.
fair
Yeah,
with Shia LaBeouf.
yeah. I didn't mind even Stevens. I giggled.
Oh yeah, wasn't terrible. Back in the middle, I watched a lot as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah. What would you give
anyway,
this shambolic film?
to me, this is a two. I still think a lot of it's pretty fun. I like that they tried doing something different as much as this felt like just Hoodwinked and Sherlock put together.
Yeah,
Uh, but like it's still, I've not seen anything that's live action, that's Japanese, that is this tongue in cheek. I haven't seen anything quite like this, in like specifically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't a nothing movie. It became a nothing movie towards the middle, but I think the beginning is very, very fun. And I'd watch that opening section. I'd watch this again with friends, I reckon.
Okay.
It's not quite so bad. It's good because I wouldn't say it's terrible.
Yeah.
But there are some funny moments, and I think some of the acting's pretty funny. I love the witch, which is fucking hilarious. Yeah, 2. I think 2's fair for me.
Okay. I lost after the first act. It lost me completely. I think it's a 1.5. I don't think it's a 2. Sure. I think they just butchered it, and they tried to go too complex and too serious where they should have stayed that light-hearted, self-aware. Yeah, disappointing.
Did you like this? Because you gave both this and Strays a 1.5. Which one would you consider higher? What's better?
I think I was more engaged with Strays.
Okay, that's fair.
I think I took half a star off. So Strays was originally a 2, but I took half a star off because it was like 20 minutes too long, like it dragged.
True.
Where this is like a solid 1.5.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like didn't get into the two realm for me.
Yeah.
So
fair. Whereas I like this way more than Strays. I'd watch this again before Strays.
Right. Yeah. Let's go into you are not invited to my bat mitzvah, which is Netflix is only on Netflix, and it's just come out. It came out on the 25th of August. It's actually been out for a little bit. But this has Adam Sandler in it, where I thought Adam Sandler would play a bigger role. He does not. He does not.
No. His daughters do.
But his daughters do. And to me, this feels like his daughters went, "Hey, Dad, we want to do a movie. Can we do a movie?"
Yes.
And he was like, "Yeah, this would be a good idea. I've got Paul and whatever." And this
it felt similar in that way to After Earth, where it's like they obviously cared more about getting this made for the children than they did about the actual film.
Yeah. So this is Stacy and Linda are BFFs who've always dreamed about having epic bat mitzvah. Is that how bat mitzvah? Is it bat mitzvah or bat mitzvah?
It's bat like Bart. It's bat mitzvah, which is a woman's coming of age, and a bar mitzvah is a man's coming of age. And there's another one which is a they them's coming of age.
Is there really?
Which they mentioned in this film once, but I forget what it was called. My bad.
Yeah, right. There you go. I didn't know that. However, things start to go comically awry when a popular boy in a middle school drama threatens their friendship and their rite of passage. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. So this is your generic story of BFFs who a boy gets in the way, and they have a blue. They have their usual like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to try and ruin your day, etc. Then they have the reconcile, and then it's happy days. This has that generic story, and then it has your Jewish bat mitzvah stuff integrated into it.
Yep. That's pretty much it. The end.
That's the entire story.
Yep.
So this I struggled hard with this film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know going into this, again, talking about no preconceptions, not looking anything up or whatever. I went into this thinking it was an Adam Sandler film like you.
Mm-hmm.
And then being in the first few minutes, I wrote on my notes, "Oh, I didn't expect this to be for babies. I didn't know this was going to be a teeny bot baby film."
Yeah.
And it was. Very much was.
Like it's shot reasonably well. Like there was nothing I was like,
looks fine.
Yeah, like it's bright colors. I was at one stage I stopped listening to the story and I was like, what can I nitpick at this film? Like it's besides really bad storytelling or really generic storytelling, whatever you want to sort of put it down to. There was no hook. There was no like, I'm invested in these characters. I think there was only like one moment that I was like, this is actually enjoyable. And that's when who's the main girl? It's is it Stacy? or was it
Like Stacy. No,
the
Stacy.
one
Yes, it was Stacy. Yes,
Stacey,
sorry.
the one that comes home, and then the parents are on the voice, the FaceTime with the teacher, and then Sandler's like Adam Sandler or Danny Friedman was like real angry, like crushes the can, and then she storms up. He goes to yell at her, and the neighbor or the other friend, no, the best friend's mum came knocking, was like, uh, Sandy or I forgot her name again, Sunny, Stacy.
Stacy.
It was meant to have edited the other girl's video for a bar mitzvah, and
Yeah.
then Sandler's just yelling his like Sandler rant upstairs.
Oh, sure.
That to
That's
me was the only like really enjoyable scene.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I guess it's the same. Like, yeah, you're right. I did chuckle, I guess, at that, or like at least smile. Where the rest of this, it's not for us. Like,
No,
it's all I can do is look at this through a lens of filmmaking. I can't look at this through enjoyment factor because I'm not meant to enjoy this. This is not made for 30-something-year-olds. This is made for fucking babies. This is made for 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds. The main character is a lower high school student. Um, yeah, I fucking hated it. I went into this like not knowing what it was gonna be. It was me Adam Sandler film. Then realized it was a teeny bop film, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna turn my wild. I wrote my notes. I'm gonna try put on my Wild Child hat. I love the movie Wild Child with Emma Roberts.
right.
It's one of those movies that like those dumb nothing sort of teeny bop films that just they feel good. They have some funny moments between some characters, and then it ends.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was gonna be more like that. That's the try. That's the cap I tried to put on for this. No, this is. I have no connection to this at all. I can't connect with Jewish culture because I'm not in America where Jewish culture is quite prevalent. I can't connect with the characters because they're young women talking about young boys. And the whole time watching this, I'm like, none of this fucking matters. Your life doesn't matter at 14. Like you're getting so worked up and concerned over this dumb shit blonde cunt hair. And I think he's a fuckwit. And like, yes, obviously you're meant to think he's a fuckwit. Like that's the story. He's not meant to be the right person for you anyway. And it just became generic shit about characters I didn't care about. There was nothing in this for me. It was so boring from start to finish.
Yeah, but at 14, like those moments and those thingos are like the be all end all. So
Of
until like
course,
you get to the end, like is it relatable to those that are in that time period? Like,
I think so.
would they enjoy this? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I think so. I would assume that if you were this age and you care about boys and your friend, your friend kissing the boy you like and all that sort of stuff, like that would it would matter. It's probably relatable for some people. For me, I'm just like, I feel like I was watching this. It feels like if a student comes to me and they're upset and they're like, "Oh, I need to tell you about something that's going on in my life," and they spill this big story on me about their friend kissing their best friend, sorry, their friend kissing their boyfriend or their crush, and how much it's hurt them, and now they're not talking to their friend and whatever. And I sit there and listen. And I go, "Oh yeah, yeah, oh that sucks. I'm really sorry." And then I walk away going, "I remember when I was 14, that shit mattered."
yeah,
Like this didn't fucking matter at all.
no. So, as I was just looking at the IMDb reviews, and it's very mixed. Like people are
Yep.
saying it's a great teen comedy, super relatable. Others are
Mm-hmm.
saying this is another family flop, Adam
Okay.
Sandler flop. But it's like
Sure.
I think Adam Sandler, I know our generation put like Adam Sandler to like Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Waterboy,
Yes.
all those films really enjoyable. But then he had kids and he wanted his kids to be able to watch his film. Then he brought out like Pixel and like different
Yes.
ones. And this
Eddie
is,
Murphy.
yeah. So like, I get it, but I don't know. It's like, I still hold that notion of like those films with Adam Sandler. And that's what
Yes.
I go in expecting. Where,
But it's the same old thing of me saying you can make kids movies, you can make teen movies, you can make family movies and still make them fucking good.
Yeah.
Like this is not good. And there's no way people working on this would have reached the end and gone, yeah, really proud of this movie. Who the fuck are we proud of this?
Yeah. It's
Maybe his 14-year-old daughter.
maybe.
I also
I mean,
understand. Go
mm,
on. Sorry, because I'm about to go on a tangent rant. Go on.
I didn't think she was that bad of an actor. Like she did reasonably well. Like she was reasonably believable.
Yeah, I think acting
Mm,
was fine. I really liked the older sister, Sadie Sandler.
yeah.
She played Ronnie.
Hmm.
She's my favorite character. I connected with her more because she was a bit more like teen angsty and like that was sort of not me as a teenager by any means, but I think that's more relatable than a 14-year-old girl pining over some douchebag.
Yeah.
I don't get why, because Adam Sandler was the dad. His
Hmm.
two daughters in real life played his daughters in the movie. His wife in the movie was played by Idina Menzel. His his actual wife in real life played his daughter's friend's mum. So Lydia, the friend who kissed Andy, her mum, Gabby, is played by Jackie Sandler, Adam Sandler's real wife. Why the fuck? I don't understand. Why was Adam Sandler's wife not playing Adam Sandler's wife in the film? Why have some random actor pretend to be these girls' daughters when you've got the real mum right there? Surely there would be more on-screen chemistry and between like a mother-daughter relationship with the actual fucking mother and daughter. Like I seriously do not understand the choice made there.
Look, I got no answers for you there. I didn't even realize that that was his
Yes.
wife.
Yeah, I looked up afterwards. I'm like, oh, is that his? Because he and his daughters are playing he and his daughters in the
Hmm.
show. So in the movie, so maybe that's his real wife too. I looked it up. No, it's some random person. Oh, but his real wife is somebody else's character. Like I just find it like a really weird choice, and I honestly think it hurt the film a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Favorite character?
favorite character had to be Adam Sandler.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For the like 4 minutes he was in it.
Yeah. Just from that one scene where he was
I like
yelling.
the Rabbi Rebecca.
Oh yeah.
She was pretty funny.
Yeah. I feel like she was trying too hard though. Like it felt some of it felt forced.
I think that's the point.
Okay.
I think a character is meant to be a bit forced. That's how I read it anyway. The
Uh,
character wants to be like relatable, and that sort of makes her a bit more charming.
yeah. Right. I
I
don't
also
know.
liked Mateo, the exchange student who the character ended up with in the end. He was a little cutie,
No.
fun little kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's all I can give it. There's nothing much redeeming about this. They
Yeah.
had these weird little zooms. And like only the characters have a realization to do this little like almost like a quick zoom, like yeah, like a soap opera.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, the music was very obviously aimed at teenagers. It was quite egregious. Yeah, I know this isn't for me, and it's not anything that I was ever going to enjoy, but I enjoyed it less than I thought I was going to. It's probably the worst thing I watched this week
Ooh.
for me.
Yeah. What
I don't
would
know.
what would you give it?
It's tough because like I guess when I think about it, like competence wise, it's probably better than Strays, but enjoyment wise, it for me, like that's why I have to separate it because it's not as bad of a movie as Strays. Like Strays is probably put together worse. Um, whereas this, I know it's not at me, and I could never ever watch this ever again because it's a complete waste of my time.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know. You go first.
Mine's a one. I was bored.
Yeah,
I was bored. It's not aimed at me. It's not. I'm not the target audience. The acting was fine. It was
yeah.
visually fine. It was just nothing. It was just nothing. Like I wanted to turn it off early, but I was even tempted to put it to like 1.5 speed on Netflix and like just try and power through it.
Sure.
Like, I don't know. It's just there was nothing there. There was nothing there that I was like, yeah, you should watch this.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think a one's probably. I was thinking a one as well. I was going to go a little higher because it's not an incompetent film, and in some ways, it's better than Strays.
Just Strays had
But
more enjoyment.
yeah, I probably enjoyed Strays more. I'll give it that. Yeah, I think a one's fair. What a dismal week.
Mm.
This week, our movies got nothing got over a two.
No, you
I
can't
don't
win
think
it.
next week's going to be much better,
You
if I'm
can't.
honest.
You can't win them all. Well,
Yeah, it's okay.
the elevators bring you up and they bring you down as well. So we've got the
We're done
elevator
for this.
games, and we've got the Nun
That
2.
was a segue into movie next week, by the way. He
Mm, if
just
you,
sort of brushed over it. Elevator games.
elevator games. Is it games or
Uh-huh.
game?
I don't fucking know. Game. Why not?
How many games can you play in an elevator? I feel like it would be
Soon
game.
find out.
I feel like it'd be one. Oh, that could be two. One's going up, one's going down. And then you've got the Nun 2. So we actually haven't watched Nun 1, so we're coming in blind for this one.
See if it's none too interesting.
Ooh, look at you. Look at you.
Yeah, I'm proud of that one.
And Jurassic Shark 3.
Jurassic Shark 3.
Sea Vengeance. This looks like an asylum type of film, so get ready for some hopefully really dumb fun, because the asylum let us down last time.
There's a famously so bad it's good movie called The Shark Exorcist.
Ooh,
and this sort of, just watching a little section earlier, this reminds me a lot of that. So in the best and worst possible way.
Yeah, cool. You know,
it's very amateur.
Yeah. Well, so you could be doing anything else in the world, but you're listening to us or watching us, whatever you decide. And you know, all we ask is you share your friends, let us know what you thought about the films if you've seen them.
Tell your friends.
And tell them all. And we'll see you guys next week.
And join our Discord. Join our Discord and talk to us about movies.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, get around it.
We've a channel all about this, and you can talk to us about the shit that you've watched and talk to us about the stuff that we've reviewed if you had different opinions and whatnot.
Yep. So get keen. We'll see you guys next week. Please.
Love yous.